Hello and welcome to Open Line. I'm Starlene Stringer. Well, some of the progress you see happening around the city is the result of collaboration, and one of the city's primary partners is Dallas County. Today we're going to learn more about some of the partnerships and the work of the Commissioner's Court. Viewers were invited to submit questions through email and Facebook. Our guest is Dallas County Commissioner Dr. Elba Garcia. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, no, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. And I know a lot of people are interested to hear what you have to say. And I know a lot of our viewers also are very familiar with city council members coming on the show, but they're not so familiar with county commissioners. So can you explain what it is you do?
Well, county commissioners is really an extension of the state government.
Okay.
Our main job is to administer, obviously, the budget of Dallas County and also implement every single law that the legislature passes every 2 years, with or without funding, which can be challenging. But nevertheless, I mean, we set the tax rate for Dallas County. We oversee Parkland Hospital, the Sheriff Department, everything that has to do with the judiciary system as well as health. Health and Human Services is a very important part as well of the Dallas County, management.
And you represent Irving on the court, right?
That is correct, District 4. I represent almost all Irving, except for the part north of 635, all of Grand Prairie, that is in the Dallas County side, Cockrell Hill, North Oak Cliff, and part of the southern part of Oak Cliff as well.
Wonderful. And there are a couple of, or I'd say a few, different trail projects currently underway that I know you're working with. And one of them is the Campion Trail. So tell me about the county's role in that project.
Well, the county is always a partner.
Okay.
It has to be asked to be a participant. But I have to tell you, one of the things that excites me the most is our trail system, especially in the west side of Dallas County. And Irving is probably, the best example that we can do when we talk about trails. Campion Trail, we opened it 2 years ago, conjunction of county, city, monies. And we're about to start the connection to Lone Star that goes into Grand Prairie. So that will make about 11 miles of open space and trails. That will be the longest trail on the west side of Dallas County. And that is exciting. The reason why I always feel that is such a good news is because for me, it's economic development. The county doesn't get sales tax. So all our income, all our budget is based on property values. So when we have open spaces, not only do you have cleaner air, green areas, people love to watch other people, healthier living. When you live close to a trail, all the studies shows that you want to be part of that trail, that you're going to start walking, you're going to start bicycling, you're going to start jogging, you're going to start going into those trails, those trail systems. And from the economic point of view, if you're a business owner, you want to open some kind of business close to a trail that has a lot of people going or utilizing it. So I know that Irving has done a fantastic job in working with me and Dallas County, and the best is yet to come. So we're looking at with the Parks Department and the City of Irving at other connectors that we can do to make it even better. My dream is that in a few years, we can connect all Dallas County 360 degrees.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be a lot of fun?
That would be
fun. And not only that, we will increase our tax base, and we will also have, hopefully, healthier lifestyles and more economic development.
I love it. And you mentioned economic development, and when you speak of money, I have to ask about the grants, because I know the county has provided grants for expansion, right?
That is correct. And we work, this is cooperation. Like you say at the beginning, one hand cannot wash itself. Here comes sometimes federal money, state money, city money, as well as county money. And that's why sometimes people ask, why all these projects take so long? Because, they're marked by years, sometimes what we call the first call with the Mayor Capital Improvement Program that has the Hunter Ferry Road. That was a project that lasted, what I hear, more than 15 years in the making, because it took a lot of partnerships that sometimes, take a long time to get together. And I was very pleased and obviously very satisfied to be able to open this trail, putting all the partnerships together. And, $25 million project here in Irving with the partnership of Dallas County of $7.8 million. So that was a big achievement. I know, and I hear the comments all the time, not only from the transportation point of view, but also because you have new roads that connect different parts of Irving. But just like that, 161, 183, Loop 12, Story Road and Irving Boulevard, Rock Island at Bear Creek, and the Lone Star Trail Connector, which is a connector between Irving and Grand Prairie. All these projects, have been finished or are in the works as we speak. So that's exciting.
It is very exciting. And let me ask you this, what's next for the trails? It's going to be extended?
Lone Star Trail is the extension, of the southern part of the Irving with Grand Prairie. So that is going to create the longest 11 miles of trails in the west side of Dallas County.
You kind of touched on this a bit, but what would you say is the importance of this project for the county?
Well, I mean, from the Dallas County perspective is, in my opinion, economic development, green space, cleaner air, healthier lifestyles. And when you have all that together, the reality is you're making the quality of life of your citizens a better life.
Well, a lot of people think that Irving is a great place to be and provides that better life. But why do you think it is that Irving's helped receive so many donations for the grant money? Why do you think Campion Trail is receiving it? Is because it's such a great place? You talked about how nice it is.
I think it's a little bit of everything together, like you say, but also because Irving has a perfect location within Dallas County. If you really think about it, between Dallas and the airport and Grand Prairie, which is, the connectivity on the west side of Dallas County is, in my opinion, one of the busiest connectivities. And, when you have all those elements and cities that are willing to partner, because remember, all these are partnerships. So the city has to be willing to say, I have the funds to be a partner in these projects. And the city of Irving, the city of Grand Prairie, all of the cities that I have the honor of represent are very willing participants. I mean, they really want to do what is best. They really want to understand that this is important for the future of their municipality.
Sure. And now I want to switch a little bit because you mentioned the Lone Star Trail a bit, the Lone Star connection. And so let's talk about that. That's another trail project. And you mentioned it, but where does it actually go?
It goes into Grand Prairie, Lone Star Park into Grand Prairie. So like I say, that will connect Irving and Grand Prairie with the longest trail.
Awesome. And when does that work get underway?
Actually, I'm glad you asked me this because it just started.
Oh, wow.
August 10 is when they start working. I mean, we actually have been in the planning for almost the last 2 years. It has been a joint work between the Parks Department of Irving and Grand Prairie. And, we're ready. I mean, the construction as we speak is starting. We expect it to be finished hopefully in about a year, hopefully less. But, hey, it's better to be on the safe side.
There you go. Your enthusiasm makes us all go, hey, I want to get out there on that trail right now.
Hey, I can't wait for the ribbon cutting.
Awesome, awesome. And we hope to be there too, and I'm sure we will with ICTN.
You will get an invitation for sure.
Thank you. Now, let me ask you about this. This is all positive stuff we've been talking about, and most of it is good, but there are some concerns and issues to be aware of too, and that includes mosquito protection, and it's a priority at this time of the year. So on a recent show, we discussed what the city's doing, but can you tell me the county's role in protecting people from mosquitoes?
Definitely, and as you know, 2 years ago, we really had, probably the worst West Nile virus season that we had since the beginning of the 2000s. And the reality has come to be Dallas County has been a very important part of this program because it's our job to be pretty much monitoring the whole county. Mr. Zachary Thompson, the director of the Health and Human Services Department, has been instrumental in doing this, and we help the municipalities, setting some of the traps, the mosquito traps that are tested to see how many mosquitoes actually test positive for West Nile virus. The city of Irving has been a fantastic partner. We have 14 cities that are partners with the county in helping us testing. Whenever these traps get tested positive, obviously the county sends the report to the state and to the city, to the municipality. The municipality will spray in less than 24 hours. And that's why sometimes people call my office and say, hey, I didn't know that you were going to do the ground spraying. However, we have a very quick turnaround. We have found out that the faster, the better. Now, as I always say, I'm totally against aerial spraying. I have been all against, but ground spraying is something that the municipalities are doing. I think we are catching up. Thanks to the last legislature, our code enforcement departments can go into a property and actually inspect the property. If any of the neighbors think that there's a ground for mosquito breeding, we sometimes have abandoned properties or properties for sale that are really not monitored, or pools that are not really kept, and those are the grounds for mosquitoes. We are, adamant to all the neighbors, to go to the county website, check into all the different programs that we have about mosquitoes and all the information. I mean, I think the best constituent is the constituent that knows when to report, because a lot of people say, but I don't want to report my neighbor. Hey, if it's about your health and the health of your family and the health of your community, you want to be sure that everybody knows the rules and everybody does whatever is in our reach to protect each other.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned that you're not for aerial spraying. Does that mean it won't be done, and why do you not like it?
I don't think at this point it will be done, because really we have been able to control. The last 2 seasons have been relatively benign. But definitely, once you go into aerial spraying, you start wondering about the chemicals in the air, and that's my personal feeling. Obviously, I'm just speaking for myself. But I think one of the things that the Health and Human Services Department is adamant is about starting to look into more environmentally friendly ways to attack the West Nile virus. We're starting to use dunks, in a lot of the areas. I know that Dallas County have given all our municipalities some of these, environmentally friendly to be distributed among the community. As always, don't forget to follow the 4 Ds. I stay away from being out at dawn and dusk, long sleeves, long pants, light colors. Stagnant water has to be eliminated. And of course, the most important one is don't forget to put your DEET, repellent. I know it smells terrible. I'm the first one that says that it doesn't smell good with my perfume, but nevertheless, it's about being safe.
There you go.
Don't forget the ears. Don't forget those areas that sometimes we can overlook.
You're really great at giving the information that we need to know when it comes to protection, so thank you for that. And there's another concern this year too, in addition to West Nile virus, and that's chikungunya virus. What do we need to know about that?
I like your pronunciation of chikungunya better than mine. But no, this is actually a new mosquito. The difference with West Nile is that this mosquito works 24 hours. So it's not only mainly during dusk and dawn. Can be any time of the day. We have only have 1 case, and I was told to say it was an imported case from the Caribbean. This person had been in the Caribbean on vacation. So if you're going to the Caribbean, be sure that you protect yourself. It's characterized by arthritis, by severe joint pain, and but it's curable, definitely. And the most important thing is that we have to be aware of this, and don't forget your DEET.
That's right. Don't forget your DEET. And there's something else that's really a concern for you and for all of us, really, but you've been really passionate about and you've been spreading the word about, and that is drunken driving. Why is that so important to you?
Well, DWI is one of those offenses that can be prevented. And our motto has always been, hey, if you're going to drink, don't drive. The reality is this kind of accidents change lives in seconds. One day you are, kissing your son, your daughter goodbye, and when I hear some of those testimonies are the hardest testimonies to hear.
Sure,
because you're perfectly well, your world is going perfect, and then something like this happens. Now, I have excellent partners. I'm the chair of the DWI task force, and I have the honor of working with a lot of the municipalities that have these programs. And Irving has some of the best officers, I do have to say.
I agree.
Chief Boyd has been instrumental in this program, as well as Officer Burrows and other officers that represent Irving in the task force. You are very proactive about, saying and letting the community know when they're going to be working. And don't forget, Labor Day, most of the holidays, we do get grants, to do overtime in a lot of these programs. And like I say, it's all about education, it's all about prevention. Nobody says don't drink. We say don't drink and drive. And if you're going to drink, have a designated driver that does not drink, because that's the other thing. You know, you want someone that is totally sober and conscious of the consequences of drinking and driving.
Wonderful. And there's another area that you've really shown great leadership in, and that's when it comes to animal cruelty. Tell me a little bit about what you've done.
Well, animal cruelty is something that in a country like the United States of America should not exist. In my opinion, we know animals are more than companions. You know, they are part of the family. And one of the things that as a former council member, I learned is that there's a lot of loopholes when it comes to prosecuting some of these crimes. What was, you know, the rationale? You know, most of the time by the time that animal control or code enforcement get to see an animal that has been abused, emancipated, abandoned, etc., is too late.
Right.
The person has moved, the dog had died, the animal had died. So one of the things that I knew we had to do was to take it to the next level. And the next level was obviously the district attorney's office. And once a case is filed with the district attorney's office, I knew we didn't have enough personnel, enough investigators, enough people to come, you know, if needed, to Irving,
right,
and go ahead and do the investigation and file the case, and take it for prosecution. Now we do, and thanks to the district attorney's office, Mr. Craig Watkins, as well as the Dickey family, a lot of animal organizations, and of course my good friends of Better Dallas, Safer Dallas, Gary Griffith, Charlie Terrell, and many other people, we were able to raise, you know, over $250,000 that we needed,
wow,
to create the animal unit in the district attorney's office, and it has been a big success. We have prosecuted successfully more than 17 cases now.
Wow.
And when it comes to animal abuse, animal cruelty, the message has to be done that, you know, it's not accepted in Dallas County, and you will get prosecuted if you commit this crime.
And how many cases have you prosecuted so far?
Oh, well, I mean, prosecuted successfully,
yes,
more than 17, and I will let you know if there's more like that, because this is a number that I haven't reviewed in several months. But I mean, we have more than 300 cases filed. Wow. That, you know, some of them, you have to have the proof to go to court.
Sure.
And like I say, investigation sometimes is the hardest part of an animal cruelty case. But I mean, like I say, I'm very thankful to all the people, you know, all the animal advocates, the Dickey family, for all their help, Better Dallas, Safer Dallas, for their support, and more importantly, because it was done with private funds. It didn't come from the county general fund. I knew that I needed to prove that it will be successful before we will put it into the budget.
Makes sense. Well, switching topics just a little bit, Dr. Garcia, not far from some of the trails we were mentioning a little bit earlier, there's a project we talked about called Hunter Farrell Road, and it just got a major upgrade. How did you first get involved with that?
Well, you know, it's funny that you asked that, because when I was campaigning for county commissioner, somebody in the audience during one of the debates stood up and said, "What about Hunter Farrell?" And I just went blank. You know, I didn't know anything about Hunter Farrell. Nobody had ever mentioned Hunter Farrell to me. So I knew it was one of the things that I had to look into it. I found out very quickly that it was a project that had been in the books for more than 14 years.
Wow.
But because of all the partnerships that they were involved in the project, you know, it had never been really completed. So one of the things that I promised while I was running was that I will look into this project and will be sure that this project finally be completed. And it's something that I thank the Lord and all the people that was able to work with me, past and current city council members in Irving, Grand Prairie, Tex Dot, RTC, my good friend Michael Morris. I mean, pretty much everybody came together and said, we're going to make it happen, and we did.
Wonderful, and we were seeing some of the video while you were telling us about it, where we could see the flooding that happened back in 1989 and how bad it really was. So what kind of improvements have been made?
Well, like you say, flood protection, connectivity, transportation, and more importantly, upgrades. Upgrades to the community, to the infrastructure, and hey, now it's an asset in the neighborhood.
Awesome. And now that it's been open for a few months, what kind of feedback are you getting?
Yeah, almost a year.
Oh, really?
The feedback has been fantastic.
Good.
You know, I walked that neighborhood when I was running for office, and the more I walk it, the more I hear about how important it was, and especially, like you say, because of the flooding. For the people that live close to Hunter Farrell, flooding was a big issue. You know, it's been a very, very good feeling to be able to complete that project.
I bet. And when it comes to projects like that, road projects or concerns, how do you know who to contact? Do you contact the city or TxDOT or the county? How does it work?
Well, you know, it depends on which project you're talking about. When it comes to the Mayor Capital Improvement Programs, which is public works with the Dallas County, we have every year the call for projects. And during that call of projects, every municipality comes and says, hey, we want to do these areas, we want to do these connectivities. We obviously, you know, see how much it will cost, allocate the funds if we have them for the, you know, it's every 2 years, we start working like that. For example, also with the road and bridge, which is the public works of District 4, the municipality public works sometimes call us and say, hey, Dr. Garcia, we have these streets that we would like you to work on. We do the asphalt tops. I think it's a great project for the municipality because the county get the asphalt at cost. We put the equipment, we put the machinery, we put the personnel, we take the liability for you guys. So the municipality doesn't have to have a big public works crew, which costs the municipality more money than using the county. So I've been very lucky to be able to work with all your city managers and the city council in Irving. We have done close to 17 streets in the 4 years that I've been representing District 4.
Wow.
And I think at a very good cost for the taxpayers of Irving.
Sure. And then there's some other things you're working on too, several I'm sure, but there's another project we'd love for you to update us on, and that's the new Parkland Hospital. Tell me about some of what will be enhanced.
Well, as you know, the voters in 2008 approved a $1.2 billion bond program to expand Parkland, a facility that was outdated and that was going through a lot of transition. The new Parkland is going to have not only, you know, being expanded. I mean, we're going to have more than 300 beds. You know, as I was being briefed last Tuesday at your Dallas County Commissioner's Court, we hear about some of the challenges. Obviously, when you are building a state-of-the-art facility, it's going to cost money. And we expect that there will be a penny increase on that tax rate because not only because it was scheduled to be as part of the bond sale, but also to cover some of the gap. At this point, we know that Parkland will have a tough 2 years, you know, transition years. It's going to take almost a year to move into the new hospital. But nevertheless, the volume of people using Parkland continues to increase. What are some of the things that Parkland is doing to avoid people going through the emergency room for care? Is using more our community-oriented clinics, community COPC clinics. Irving has one with Baylor and a partnership with Baylor and Grand Prairie. We have 13 of those clinics, and one of the goals is to start monitoring our patients from these clinics. If you live in Irving, if you live in Grand Prairie, if you live in Dallas, you know, having a doctor that will monitor you, so you don't have to go to emergency all the time to Parkland Hospital, because that's when the costs, you know, really increase. When we have people that use the emergency system as sometimes, you know, part of their care.
Sure. You know, we were seeing some video while you were talking to us about what's going on at the new Parkland Hospital, and the video showed some tours that were taking place recently, and I know you helped organize that. Why was that important to get the realtors out for a tour? What did you hope people get from that?
Well, obviously, realtors sell. Realtors sell, the municipalities sell, Dallas County. For me, it was very important as a business person that they know what's going around Parkland Hospital. When they know the transportation, when they know the economic development, all the apartments, all the different venues that are opening around Parkland Hospital, they have a better knowledge that the services will be there. I've been shocked of all the development that is going around Parkland Hospital, for doctors, for nurses, you name it. A lot of new shops, new restaurants, more connectivity, and we continue to do some of those projects around Parkland. And for me, it was very important that realtors from Irving and the whole Metroplex, because we have different groups like the homes groups, the chamber groups, the realtors groups that tour Parkland Hospital, could see you know, the improvements, feel the excitement.
It's a lot of excitement.
That we all feel when we go around. A lot of construction, my friends, but you know, construction, I do get complaints about construction, but I always say, don't forget that one day it'll be finished and we'll be, you know, enjoying the benefits of investing at the time that the investment needs to be done.
Good, positive way to look at it. Let's get back to the courts as a whole, because we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you, when and where are the meetings?
The Dallas County Commissioners Court meets every Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're open meetings. Everybody's invited. If you have a concern, you can be a public speaker. Sign up Friday or Monday before the meeting, and please come by. It's your county commissioner's court. If you have a problem, if there's something with Dallas County that you would like to change, come and give us your ideas. Sometimes
people can get involved.
Yes, and not only that, I mean, some of the best ideas I have here in my lifetime as a public servant come from people that say, you know, I was thinking about doing it this way. Advocates, and even if you're an advocate or you just want to get your voice to be here,
sure,
Dallas County Commissioners Court is one of the best ways to do it.
Perfect, and we put your email up on the screen too,
Please
so they can contact you that
as
way.
well as my phone number.
Okay.
You know, I have been very blessed with a fantastic staff that works with me, that love public service, that love the district. I think that all of us enjoy what we do, and more importantly, we're ready to serve.
Wonderful. So we did get your number on the screen too, so they'll be in touch with you, I'm sure, those who would like to reach you. You know, I want to definitely take the time to point this out. It's been a very special week for you. I saw you were just honored by the Texas Rangers. Tell me about that.
I had the honor of being honored last Tuesday by the Rangers organization, and well, it's always humbling when people recognize the work that you have been you've been doing in the community. And of course, there was $500 for the organization of my choice, so I couldn't leave that on the table. And of course, I also on Monday I was recognized by Keep Irving Beautiful, one organization here in Irving that works so hard with volunteers to not only keep Irving beautiful, but to keep the community together. It was inspiring to be recognized with so many people that work so hard in the community as volunteers, because as you know, volunteers are the backbone of every government, and without them, we couldn't do a lot of the things we do. And it takes people that want to give part of themselves and their time and their lives and their money, you know, to make a difference. And it's always, you know, I feel humble because I really felt that everybody deserved that prize more than me because of the work they do.
Just hearing your joy and enthusiasm and what you do, you can see it was well deserved. So congratulations to you on both of those awards and the recognition. And in closing, what other issues are you currently working on, Dr. Garcia?
Well, as you know, we start working with seniors. Financial support is one of those issues that our seniors are, you know, the legacy of any community. They're the wisdom they bring to the table, you know, the volunteerism as well. Yeah. So one of the most common crimes is elderly abuse, elderly financial abuse. And one of the things that I have the honor of working with the courts, with the DA's attorneys, Craig Watkins, and the senior source, is whenever you have any case of financial abuse or elderly abuse, please report it. We're, you know, they're ready to help with either classes, support, investigations, and if necessary, take these cases to court.
Wonderful. We know they're in good hands with you, Dr. Garcia. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, and you know, thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate being with you today.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. And thank you for watching. I'm Starlene Stringer. Please be sure to join us on Thursday, September 11th, for our next edition of Open Line. Our guest will be from Irving's Animal Care Campus. If you have questions, email ictn@cityofirving.org, and we will get answers for you on the next edition of Open Line. See you then.